The island of Gran Canaria is situated off the west coast of Africa. It's part of a group of Spanish islands called the Canary Islands that are well known for their year-round good weather. There is a long-distance hiking trail called the GR131, which traverses all of the 7 Canary Islands, and over the next 5 days I'm hoping to cross over Gran Canaria following this route. The route starts at Maspalomas, then heads pretty much straight north inland. From the look at the satellite imagery, it looks very dry and arid in the south, so carrying enough water and managing the heat is certainly going to be a challenge. The trail then slowly climbs towards the centre of the island and reaches its highest elevation of 1,719 metres before carrying on to the north and gradually ending up in Puerto de las Nieves, which is in the northwest of the island. The route is a total of about 80 kilometres or 50 miles. I will be carrying as much as I can with me and while camping along the way, as I like to try and be as independent as possible in these adventures. Getting to Gran Canaria couldn't be simpler. It's only a 4.5 hour flight from the UK, and after you get there, public transport on the island is excellent. Getting to the start and end points of the hike by bus is really easy. So I've made my way to the start of this, hopefully going to be an amazing 5 days in Gran Canaria, hiking over Gran Canaria. It's been an early day, it's about a 3 a.m. start, and I've just made it down to the beach in Maspalomas, which is really cool. There's all these really cool sand dunes. I was hoping to do some filming on the beach. It turns out it's a bit of a nudist beach, so there's rather a lot of sausage on display, so I thought better of it. I can already tell that one of the main challenges over the next few days is going to be dealing with the heat. Just stepping off the plane, just starting this morning, it's absolutely roasting. It's lovely, but it's going to be, I'm going to have to find some way to manage this. It's a bit of a relief to finally get going on the track proper. Some of these travel days can be a bit of a mission, really. And trying to find some gas today was certainly a bit of a mission. That took ages. So yeah, so it's really good to get going and see what this island's got to offer. The rock formations around here are really cool. They're all volcanic, obviously, these being volcanic islands. And they've got all these weird caves and stuff in. We've got nothing like it back home in the UK. But this one looks like a face. It's giving me the creeps. As the day turned to night, it was time to find somewhere to pitch my tent. This was easier said than done, as the ground is so hard you can barely get a peg to stay in the ground between the rocks. It's been a pretty tough day. It's a travel day, so you're trying to cram lots in, so you end up really knackered. Once I got out of the town, out of Maspalomas, and started on trail, it got really nice. Been walking through this valley all afternoon, so that was super cool. There's nobody about, it's so quiet, it's so lovely. You just got to watch the heat though, it's so hot. I think I was probably at one point about this far off of having heat stroke, so I had to kind of check myself a bit and be really careful. I got under some shade for a couple of hours. But yeah, I think tomorrow, hopefully get up really early, before the sun comes up fully, get a few hours in, get a few miles done, and then relax for the afternoon and then when it cools off a bit again in the evening, try and do a few more miles then. I think that's the way to do it. If you try and walk around in this heat, it's just super dangerous. So yeah, gonna get some food now and get my head down. Good night. Setting off early means setting off in the dark, which can be very exciting. The landscape totally changes at night, and walking past these cactuses was a really eerie experience. As you can see here, it's very easy to veer off the path. None of the route so far has been properly signposted, and the first bit was on a massive track, so it wasn't too bad. But then that just kind of disappears. So I'm hoping to find, I'm following it on a GPS, hoping to pick it up again. But it's really not easy at all. Jesus. Managed to find this pipe. It runs up the hillside. I think my plan's just going to be to follow this. It's already got a really tricky day. That was a lesson nearly learnt the hard way. I downloaded a GPX file before I set off, and I've just kind of blindly followed it up this track. And it took me completely off route this morning. So in the pitch black, I was kind of ambling through these cactuses, and I've ended up having to scramble up this hillside. I'm absolutely covered in cactus prickles. I think I'll be picking those out for a while. Thankfully, I'm back on this track now, as you can see. Apparently this is this cactus fruit's edible. I think it's called a prickly pear, obviously. It's really prickly. You just have to peel the skin off. I'm going to give it a go. It's supposed to be quite sweet. There we go. Oh, it's a bit of a faff. Ow. Oh, it's good. Oh, really nice. Oh, lovely. Oh, it's prickly. It's all in my lips. Ow. Oh, make sure you peel it properly first. Ow, God. Weird thing happened yesterday that I've never had before. In the afternoon, it was so weird. It had been so hot and so dry. And I was walking along, and we've kind of all heard of like oases in the desert and stuff like that, but I've never experienced anything like that. But I was walking along and my footsteps started to sound like gurgling, fresh, cool spring water. And it was so convincing. So I kept walking for a bit, kept stopping, and then the sound would stop, and then I start walking again, it'd be like gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. It was such a weird experience. You gotta be careful out here. On day 2, you come to a little village called Ayakata, which has a beautiful little cafe and restaurant where you can pick up some water, grab some food, and find some much needed shade.
Oh, that's so good.
There was nothing to do but while away the hottest part of the day by taking it easy and relaxing under the shade. It's still absolutely roasting. It's probably about 5:30 now, so I'm just taking it super slow. We're just heading up into the mountains proper, I think. The rest of the day was spent slowly climbing into the mountains before finding a good spot to pitch my tent for the night. The trails here are all so quiet. I didn't see another person all evening who could just really relax and enjoy the tranquility of this island. Just setting off on day 3. It's about 8 o'clock. I was hoping to set off a bit earlier, but I was absolutely bushed after yesterday. Found a cracking little camping spot up in, they have these little pine woods, I suppose, pine forests. They smell lovely. So I just camped up there. I don't think you're supposed to, officially I don't think you're supposed to wild camp. There's no campsites or anything, so I'm not sure how you do it otherwise. And they seem to pit these little flattened areas just by the side of the path, so I'm guessing that's what they're for. Anyway, you can probably hear it's absolutely silent. It's kind of eerie in a way. As you carry on the ascent towards the centre of the island, the environment slowly changes from the marsh-like landscapes of the south to the lusher and greener surroundings of the middle and north of the island. Hey, look at that, these are cool. It's an almond tree. I can peel it. Little almonds. How about that? Oh, destroyed it. Let's have a taste. Oh God, it's awful. Oh, really sour. Not good. Up in the hills, you come across the traditional Spanish town of Tejeda, where you can get a few supplies and relax in one of the cute cafes for a well-earned rest. I'm just climbing out of a beautiful little Spanish town called Tejeda. I stopped there for a bit, had a resupply. I was planning on staying there for most of the afternoon, really, to stay out of the sun. But this northern side of the island seems much less arid than the southern bit of the island. It seems a bit cooler, there's a lot more plants around, and there's a nice cool breeze, so I've decided to crack on. It's about 16k, or 10 miles or so before the next village where you can get some water and supplies. So I'm hoping it should be all right. It's another lovely day. Beautiful. All across the island, there are signs of the many wildfires that they experience here. Most of the trunks of the pine trees show signs of burning, but they're very resistant to it, and most survive. If you're camping here, you have to be so careful. The island is so dry, and I wouldn't even think about using a camping stove anywhere near any of these forests. Seems to be getting up really high now. I think this is about 1,600 meters or something like that. Feels a lot cooler, it's so much nicer. I think we go up to about 1,800 meters today, maybe. See how it takes us. This bit's really cool. I don't know if you can see. They've cut like a pathway up the cliff here. It kind of zigzags up to the top. I think I'm going to be heading up there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, look, there you go. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful up here. That's taking some getting up. Wow, look at those views. So this is the end of day 3. It's been a cracking day today. The first couple of days, it was type 2 fun really. The south of the island, as you can probably see, is very, very arid. And it was so hot, it was absolutely grueling. I don't think I've ever had a couple of days as hard as that. But as you get towards the north of the island, things get much greener. There was a nice cool breeze today, and it's so much nicer walking in. So I found this cracking little spot here to watch the sunset. I'm gonna set my tent up in a bit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of I've got 2 more days and about 21 miles to do, so it should be very doable. But yeah, it's been awesome today. Just setting off on day 4. I got about a 3-mile hike before I get to a little place called Thru-Hiking, something like that. And I think you can get some food and water and supplies there. So that'll be pretty cool. It's so much nicer up here in the mountains. It's so much cooler. I can't explain really. I was a bit of a plonker last night. I set my tent up in these woods, and it was about 300 or 400 meters from a little camping place for camper vans that they set up, and you can get water and stuff there. So I thought, oh, that'd be cool. So I set my tent up, went off to get some water, but then it went dark. I completely lost my tent. Oh, geez, I was in a right panic. It took about 40 minutes to find it. I was cursing myself. I can't believe it. But eventually it ended well. Blimey though, it does teach you some lessons, places like this. It's a nice little cafe in this Thru-Hiking place I've come to. Let's have a nice cold Coke. Lovely Spanish sandwich, I'm not sure what it is. Looks like cheese and ham, something like that. So yeah, gonna have a bit of a refuel before heading on. Walking through these pine forests, it smells so delicious. It's just all fresh pine scent. Look at the size of these pine cones, they're the size of my head. I spent a fantastic afternoon hiking through these beautiful pine forests high in the mountains with amazing far-reaching views of the island. It really is a wonderful place to explore and get immersed in nature before you reach another town called Artanyara. I'm just heading out of a lovely little Canarian town, sleepy little town called Canaria. Just had a couple of hours there, had some lovely food. There's a couple of shops there that you can fill up with water, but be warned, they're closed from 3 till 5 for their siesta. Some chap just come past and collared me. I'm not sure if he was part of the fire brigade or police or something like that. Anyway, it was a very awkward conversation. I speak no Spanish and he spoke no English. We go around it with a translation app. He basically told me that I have to be really, really careful. There's a high risk of forest fires at the moment, wildfires. So I've got to be super careful, and he advised me not to do it really. He advised me to stay to the road. He said I could go on for a little bit, and then stay to the road if I can. There was a chap just up the road on the path who warned me in Spanish that there was some closures to the path due to risk of forest fires. He said I could carry on to this point, but then I'd have to take a different route. I was kind of umming and ahhing, but it seems pretty clear. It's not worth risking carrying on this way. He did say that there are some other routes that are still open that kind of wind down a bit and north a bit to the island, where it's not such high risk. So I think I'm going to have to try and work something out like that. Yeesh. I'm not generally a massive stickler for the rules, but I think in cases like this, you know, they give me fair warning. I just think about the person. If something did happen, if somebody tried to come and save me, then obviously I'm putting their life unnecessarily at risk for something or somewhere that I shouldn't have even been. So yeah, I have to do a bit of a detour. It's a bit annoying, but really it's no big deal. Really, changing route turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as it took me through a beautiful and different part of the island that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. So because I've had to take a bit of a detour, not quite sure where I'm going to stay tonight. I've come into a bit of a farming area, and there's loads of houses that are just, I don't know if you probably can't see them, but loads of people around here, their houses are built into the land, so they're kind of like living in caves, I suppose. And there's loads of, there's new ones apparently, and there's really old cave dwellings. So I might try and find a little cave to sleep in tonight. But the problem is, with all these animals, there's lots of people and lots of dogs about as well. So I've managed to locate one of these little caves that's built into the cliffside. And I'm deciding whether I'm brave enough to spend the night here. Look how cool it is. Look at that. A nice little dwelling. It is on the creepy side. Probably see this massive spider there. So I've managed to reach the end of day 4. As you can see, I chickened out of sleeping in the cave. It was just way too creepy. It's about 11 out of 10 on the creepy scale, at least. So I'm just in this tent for the night. I've given myself the creeps now, though. So I'm just hearing noises and everything. So I don't think I'll get any sleep tonight. Had to take a bit of a detour today, obviously, because of the fire risk. So I'll have to try and work out a new route, but it's probably only about 9 miles to go now. It was another really nice day today. Despite being totally creeped out, I managed to get this picture of the Milky Way, which I was well chuffed with. I've set off super early this morning. The campsite, I didn't like it at all. It just once you're kind of creeped out and you get bad vibes about a place, then you're not going to sleep well. So yeah, I got up about 5:30 and set back for the last day. So yeah, hopefully get to a little town, grab a coffee. Should be all good. I managed to find this perfect spot to have my morning coffee and to watch the sunrise on the start of my last day hiking across this amazing island. This morning I'm just walking down this huge gorge near a little place called El Hornillo, and it's a mad place. There's the place where I stayed last night near that cave. I was reading on a sign, and there's been like troglodyte caves there for obviously hundreds, thousands of years, but people were living in them and still living in the caves up until about the 1950s, 1960s, and a lot of the houses around here now are kind of built into the cave side still. So as you can probably see, some of them are like right up on the cliffs and stuff, and they're just still kind of cave dwellings, which must keep things really cool. Yeah, I think here's one here, look. A lot of them aren't used, but then a lot of them have been converted into modern homes. Look, I'll try and show you. There's like doors up there, like windows and stuff like that. That's cool. And even down there in the gorge, you can see kind of cave dwellings everywhere. Crazy place. There's also a lot more life around here. I think it's much cooler, and you can tell there's kind of signs of spring water all over the place, little springs, and there's actually a little reservoir or lake. So yeah, it's definitely more vibrant. We can hear all the birds and everything, so there's a lot more life everywhere. As I was descending into the valley from El Hornillo, I got my first glimpse of the sea, where I'll hopefully be ending up later today at the end of this amazing adventure. Descending into the valley of Aghieti this morning was a real highlight of the 5 days. The area is so peaceful and full of wildlife. It seems to have a really good energy and vibrancy about it, and it feels really magical. Jesus, I've just received acupuncture from a cactus. I'm just coming to the end of this, what can only be described really as a wonderful 5 days hiking across Gran Canaria. Just about to head into Puerto de la Nieves, which is the end. When I was reading about this online beforehand, some people said that it was, reasonably hard hike, but not too much. I totally wouldn't agree. Had to be 10 out of 10 fitness for this. There's some really steep paths, but you have to carry so much gear, and you've got the temperatures to deal with, and having to carry so much water. It's an absolute killer. So yeah, some days I was really flagging. But it's been gorgeous scenery. It's so changing. The south of the island, so different from once you get up onto the top into the mountains with all the pine forests, and then coming down this valley this morning, it's just been so beautiful. It's a real changing landscape. The other thing to note is it's so peaceful. Once you're up and away from the people, the island's just so very quiet. There's a few animals and a bit of breeze every now and again, but otherwise it's just completely tranquil. It's absolutely gorgeous. Highly recommend it. As I was walking through Puerto de la Nieves, all that was left to do was to dip my toes in the sea.